Good afternoon, everybody. Today we're going to be finding out everything that we can about the new game Among Us VR. We're going to be finding out about the good, the bad, the bugs, and we're going to be finding out exactly which one of us is sus. But be careful, he might be closer than you think. Among Us VR is a deception game where up to 10 people are trapped in a ship with up to 2 labeled as the imposter, depending on how many innocents there are. The innocents are known as the crewmates. The crewmates try to fix the ship by doing tasks around, and the imposters try to kill them either directly or indirectly. The imposters can kill them directly by using their killing ability, which has a 40-second cooldown, sabotage parts of the ship that cause everybody to die if the crewmates cannot fix them in time, or attempt to deceive the crewmates that somebody else is the imposter. Every time a dead body is reported, or if the player uses one of their one allowed emergency meetings, it will cause a voting round where players must discuss to vote on which player to eject out of the airlock to kill, or skip the vote, and the majority, of course, always wins. That's basically the entire rundown for those of you that have never really played Among Us, you have never really got into it, etc. But as a side note, for those of you that are familiar with this game on the flat screen version, the only roles are imposter and crewmate, no additional roles have been added, and there's only one map, which is the spaceship map, and there are no mods available for the VR version yet. Now, I wanted to let you guys know some of the features that come with this game. There are cosmetics, regular, and of course DLC, which the DLC is $3.99 if you want to be able to buy some additional cosmetics. There's a hiding gamertag option, which will allow you to be able to hide your gamertag, and it'll just show your color along with a hashtag and a number, depending on when you joined into the round. There will be a personal space bubble, which makes it to where if you get too close to a player, or if a player gets too close to you, that player will disappear, so that way it prevents anybody from getting too uncomfortably close to you. There is a room code joining system currently in place. There's only one map right now, like I said, the spaceship. There is an ability to be able to mute other players, as well as quickly mute your own mic, which really comes in handy.
Dude, I know who it is now! I know who it is! Yo, I know who it is! It's red!
All tasks have been recreated and optimized for VR usage. Options to be able to reduce motion sickness are also available for those that get a little queasy, and there's also an in-game text chatting feature for those of you that are uncomfortable with talking to other people, or maybe your mic isn't working for some reason. Also, just to let you guys know, whenever you initially boot into the game, it does ask you for your birth date. There have been people saying that depending on what age they put in, they either sound softer as opposed to the other players, according to who they've been talking to, or sometimes other players can't hear them at all depending on the birth date that they put in. So there is an age restriction system, and I do want to warn you guys about this ahead of time. There are some things in the game that need some improvement. I am currently playing on PC VR, and I noticed that whenever I click off of the game to click on another window on my computer, or even opening up any kind of VR menu, which for me would be Steam VR, or for those of you in Oculus, it would be your Oculus home button, has the potential to actually crash the game, depending on how long you're outside of the game. So if you're opening up your Oculus menu, if you're clicking around on a lot of different things, if you're dead, just kind of like messing around in your home menu, it could cause the game to actually crash. Or, unfortunately, also, if you are the host and you're doing this, once you crash, it will end the round for everybody, and it's supposed to bring people back to the main lobby. Unfortunately, people have also been dropping out of the lobbies. They're supposed to get brought back into the lobbies, but then their screen will go black, and then they just have to close out the game. It's a little buggy. There are also some current server delays whenever you try to switch from a private to a public lobby. Whenever you initially host a lobby, it makes it private with a room code, and then you can switch it to public. People can still join off of that room code. Unfortunately, with the server delays because of the launch, and I'm assuming they're probably being overwhelmed with the amount of people that are coming into this game with all the hype that surrounds it, that it takes around maybe 10 minutes or so for the game to actually register as being public. So you'll have to actually go in there, click the switch to public button, and you have to wait a while before people will actually start to join in, so there is some server delay. Is this game worth the price? I would say absolutely. Well, the concept of this game is very, very simple, doesn't have a lot of roles, only has one map, not a lot of cosmetics. It does provide a lot of potential to have fun with your friends. If I was to give this game a secondary title, it would just be called Gaslighting Your Friends, the game. Just having that fun ability to be able to look your friend dead in the eyes in VR and lie to them, saying like, oh no, I was doing this, oh no, it's not me, is extremely funny, especially whenever they figure out that you're the imposter, or whenever they vote you out because they're so certain it's you, and then the shock when they're like, oh my god, it wasn't him, is such a fun experience. Also, coming from somebody who has never played flat screen Among Us, I've never had the desire to play it. I jumped in here day one. I had 7.5 hours on the stream on launch day, and I never had a bad round. Every round was fun, filled with laughs, and I had a fantastic time. So with all that said and done, I'm going to award Among Us VR an 8 out of 10 rating. It's fun to play with your friends. It's got a good joining system. I do enjoy the cosmetics and all these different kinds of colors that they have slapped into there. I will say, however, I do want them to add more content into the game. While it is great that they have so many options for different players to be able to play how they want to, I think that adding in more features into the game, more cosmetics, more colors, adding in more maps, just overall of adding more content into the game will do it some good, and I think can become an even better game. That and fixing the issue where if you click off the game, it freezes, it sometimes crashes. That is a really big issue, especially for people like myself who create content. If I need to click off of the game to be able to handle something on my Streamlabs, you know, OBS, whatever I'm trying to do, it does cause a lot of issues. And that is everything that you need to know about playing Among Us VR. I hope you found this video helpful. If you have any questions, please leave them down in the comments below. You can also stop by my Twitch streams where I play this pretty often, and feel free to ask me questions in there, or you can pop by our Discord, ping me. I'm not opposed to any of that. As long as I can help you in some way, shape, or form, then I've done my job as a content creator. I'll be leaving some videos over here in the corners in case you want to see anything else that's available on the channel, any kind of comedy compilations, any reviews of other games that I've covered. I hope that you enjoy your stay here, but most of all, I hope that you have a fantastic day and try not to get voted out.